freshman year, we are staying at James's house after a party, and it's me and 7 other people. It's James, Tim Woodson, Sean Lanham, Sean Callahan, and a bunch of other people that I just fucking lost track of. They're Sean's. So James's mom comes down and says, I don't want any of you guys leaving the house. She comes out and says that at like 11 o'clock. We're like, we don't really want to. We're tired. Who cares? 12 o'clock rolls around, which for freshmen is curfew for being outside. So if you're 13 or 14 or whatever, you can't be outside past 12. So we're like, oh yeah, we're going to break the law. Let's go outside. And so we've done this like 50 times before at James' house. We just walk out the back door and we just go do whatever we want. So we're walking around some neighborhood going up to the main road. And we're fucking being retarded, messing with people's stuff, doing somersaults in their lawns, acting like ninjas and James Bond and shit. Like, I'm not kidding at all. And we're like, it's not a big deal. And so we cross the railroad tracks, and we get up by where this old donut shop is. And right next to it's a bar, and there's a parking lot. And so in the parking lot were like 4 cars. I guess the people who like to stay and get drunk at like 12. And so we were hiding behind someone's SUV to wait until it was a good time to cross the road, because the road was lit as shit. Like, if you got out there, you were like a deer in headlights. Like, you would be seen for miles. And so we were sitting behind this car, waiting for a good time to go, when all of a sudden, real slow, a cop pulls around the corner, and Sean Lanham yells, "Cops!" and sprints across the road like he's fucking gone before anyone can even like realize that a cop is right there. So we all take off behind him, and the cop peels out and follows all of us, and we just scatter across his neighborhood, and like we are gone. And so everyone's hiding in bushes, hiding behind people's cars, like next to their like home door, like, on their porch. Like, people are practically inside people's houses trying to evade the cops. And it's just this one cop, and he's flying up and down roads with his spotlight just zipping by, like, looking on in yards and stuff. And me and someone else were hiding in a bush, and we laid down for about 5 minutes and just didn't move, didn't breathe. And then like after that 5 minutes, we didn't see the cop anymore. And we were like, okay, so maybe he just went the opposite direction, thinking we went down towards the elementary school. And so we just said, all right, fuck it. We'll wait for someone to cross the road, and then we'll go follow them. So 3 people, Sean Lanham and Tim Woodson and someone else, go taking off across the road. And so we're like, all right, that's cool. I'm like, I'll go first. And so as I get out of the bush and I start to cross this light road that I was telling you about, this brightly lit road, fucking, I just hear tires peeling out. And I just fucking take off. And so as I'm sprinting my ass off down this road, I look behind me, and it's this cop car just fucking gunning down the road right behind me. And the first thing that goes through my mind is, this fucker's really actually going to run me over. That's the first thing that crossed my mind. I'm like, so as I'm heading this direction, I have a choice between going over the railroad tracks, or, in my mind, I could have turned left or right, all right, because it was just the way the road went. It split, and then there was train tracks, so you couldn't really do much there if you were in a car. And so I thought, oh, if I turn left, there's another little side road in between the 2 buildings that I could run between, and then just circle around and take back off. And so I'm like, all right, that's a good idea, because I don't have any shoes on. I had my flip-flops on, but I took them off whenever I was about to run across the road, because I'm not that stupid. I'm kind of stupid, but I'm not that stupid. So I had my flip-flops in my hand, And as the cop is chasing me, I take a left thinking, all right, I'm going to turn, I'm going to go just a little bit, and there's going to be that side road. And I take off, I take left, and I'm running in this grass, and then I realize, shit, that road is like half a mile down. I'm nowhere close. And so I just stop, I drop my sandals as the cop was turning around the corner. Drop my sandals, and I just stand there. I didn't know what to do. I just put my hands up. and you think that'd be a sign of, all right, well, apparently, you know, this kid isn't armed. He's not dangerous. You would think.
Wouldn't it have made sense to just like cross the railroad tracks then? Because the cop couldn't cross the tracks.
Well, my reasoning behind that is, if you've ever been on a railroad, the railroad tracks in Wentzville at least, there's all these huge sharp rocks. And it took me about 15 minutes to cross the one way because I was being so careful not to impale my foot on one of these jagged rocks.
Go ahead.
Thank you for clearing that up. And so the cop whips around this corner. I shit you not, just fucking drifts around, tail like going like this and straightens up. And he pulls up in front of me, opens up the door, pulls out his gun, and puts it right in my face and says, "Get on the fucking ground!" I'm just like standing there, I'm like, holy shit, don't shoot, oh my god. And he's like, get on the fucking ground, get on the ground. And so I get on the ground, he's like, hands behind your back. Fucking dude jumps on top of me. And like handcuffs me, right? And he's like, he gets up and he starts shining his flashlight all over the place. He's like, where are the car parts? I'm like, car parts? He's like, I saw you throw them whenever you were running. I'm like, those were my shoes. and the cop is like, yeah, right. I'm sure it was. So he starts looking through the grass and he picks up my shoes. He's like, are these what you were talking about?
Why didn't you go?
No, that's not at all what I was talking about.
Whenever you tell it, JT goes, no, they're my car parts.
And then these were you talking about? No, they're my car parts.
And so he just like, this cop just still doesn't believe me that I didn't steal these car parts. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about car parts? Why would he think that? So he puts me in the back of his car, and when he put those handcuffs on, it's like he put them on sideways so that whenever they like clamped, it was about the wrong angle, and it just cut my tiny little wrist fucking in half. Like I'm almost positive they were bleeding. And so we get into the parking lot where the cars were, and he calls in backup. And he's like, there's about 6 of them, and they took off down towards the pit, and we crossed the pit. If you guys remember where the pit was in Wentzville, fucking horrible.
All right, see you later.
Don't talk to me. And so they all these cops start coming. It's like 5. I'm like, no cop has anything better to do on a Friday night at all.
5 in the morning?
It's like 12:05. 12:10 estimation. And so all these cops pull up, and he just starts sending them off. He's like, I saw some go this way, that way, and they just, all right. And this one guy whips around the building in like a square, just takes off as fast as he can, goes over towards the railroad tracks, and the railroad tracks kind of go like this, like a plateau, right? This guy has to be going 60, and he just fucking clears. He gets up, and as he lands, sparks just shoot out of the back of this police car. And I just remember that really well, because I'm like, why? What's the reason for going so fast? They are gone. Because James lives, like, at a dead sprint, you could get back to his house in 45 seconds from the train track. They're not even
go
close.
there.
Because they were across the railroad tracks.
If a car can jump it, you can jump it.
Only I was black.
Well, there goes the fucking YouTube post. Jesus.
And so